It's as if the Blue Yeti and the HyperX Quadcast had a baby, it would be this microphone. But as you can see, this has like a mesh on top, similar to this one as well, except this one's a smaller hole design. This one has a bigger hole design. Really good shock mount on this one, very well built. It's an actual good shock mount. This one, as you've seen in my previous video, if you've seen it, the shock mount on this one sucks. I'll throw in a clip right now. So if you hear any voice, it just sucks. So this is a gimmick for the shock mount and you can't really remove it, so you're stuck with it. Pop filter, however, you can remove, and I will try with and without that pop filter in this video as well. Two big differences are the inputs. So the HyperX has two inputs on the back. You have your power and your headphone monitoring. So you can monitor your voice basically through this. It's good for podcasts and everything else that you want to monitor. You have 4 different polar patterns. You have a stereo, omnidirectional, cardioid, and a bidirectional. Very similar to obviously the Blue Yeti. HyperX, you can customize it however you want with any colors you want. Ampligame, you're stuck with just random flowing colors. But I mean, it's RGB, so you'll immediately have more frame rate. The differences between these already, build quality and weight. This one's lightweight, but it's made out of metal. This one's lightweight, but it's made out of plastic. The gain knobs, this one's actually really simple to see as well as maneuver, and I actually love the maneuverability of this microphone. It's just so smooth. The only thing that's confusing is that the dots aren't fully all the way back here. But I'm pretty sure that's design wise, because you want to really stay between these. You don't want to go all the way on mute and you don't want to go all the way to 100%, which is peaking for most microphones. So you want to stay right around 80% to around 20%, which is really smart. For the Ampligame, this one, I hate this knob. I really do, because you have that little indicator right there, but you can't see where you're moving and how to move it. Oh, you thought I was playing. I really got one. You can't really see it. You have to look down on the microphone and see which way. Oh yeah, this way. And this has the same similar thing. I love the mute microphone features on both of these. They're both touch sensitive. You can't hear them at all when you touch them. Very simple, very easy to use. The only downside is that they turn off the LEDs. If you were to touch it, you're on mute. The LEDs are off. And then if you try to talk and the stream can't hear you, you can easily see when you're on and off. That also raises the question, why didn't they just have a separate mute button and a separate LED button like the K658? This one has an LED indicator when you're on mute and unmuted, which is easily visible when you're muted and unmuted. And you can also just easily just turn on and off the LEDs, which is nice. I love that. That's how microphones should be made. That's pretty much it. Now let's jump into the sound quality test. All right, first up we have the Ampligame. Let's go and hop into DaVinci Resolve. First we're gonna go and start off with the Ampligame here. Record. All right. So let's go and do the sound test. All right, so this is what the Ampligame sounds like. I'm gonna check the volume real quick. Like I mentioned before, I'm gonna keep it right around 100 volume. So I don't know if you're able to hear any of that because I'm pretty sure it was at very minimal volume. We're at the same distance for both of these, roughly around, I'd say about 3 feet away. So this is the Ampligame. Let me know how it sounds. It's with the pop filter on as well. So if it sounds good or not, that's what it is. We're peaking right around negative 20 decibels. All right, so now we're gonna go and hop into the noise cancellation test for the Ampligame. So right now we're on the first setting of the air purifier. It did a really good job. I already tested this out before and it sounds really, really good. We're gonna hop into the second mode now. For the Ampligame, it did a pretty good job. Now for the Ampligame, if you were to be able to get a little bit closer, it would sound obviously a lot better, but you talk a little lower. So if you're closer to the microphone, it would sound a lot better as well. But if you want it at a very far distance, which this is my normal for if I were to do it 100% gain and this volume of speaking level. Now we're gonna move on to the third setting. Didn't do a really good job. This is fully raw audio. All right, so that was the Ampligame. Keep in mind, this is a $40 microphone. So if it beats a $150 microphone, which I don't know if it will, you can be the judge for that. All right, let's switch over to the QuadCast S. Let's go ahead and hook it up in DaVinci Resolve here. There we go. And we are good. Let's make sure it's on the right pattern. All right, so it's in the cardioid pattern right now. All right, so now we're on the QuadCast S microphone. So this is the sound test. As you can see, you have a really nice glow on this. And I'm pretty sure you're able to change the colors. I will go ahead and double check just to make sure. It is on Mac, hopefully. If it's not, then that's a bummer, but for the presets on it, just for plug and play users, it looks really, really clean. It has a nice flow and transition within there as well. Let's get into the background test. All right, so right now we're in the first setting. Now this should sound really, really good, and we're about 80%. We're gonna go all the way to 100% for this test, just to show you. Let's go to the second setting. Most budget microphones fail the second setting, but I haven't seen a really good microphone beat the third setting right now. We're peaking right around negative 15 decibels at this peak. And let me know how it sounds. I'm going to go ahead and do some raw audio right now. So the noise is around -50, so if you have something to drop sounds from -50 and below, then you can cut it out completely and you won't have a problem. Let's go to the third setting now. -40 is the noise, so now it's a little higher, as you can see. But let's see if it catches my voice more than the actual background noise. And it looks like we peaked right around -10 for the highest, but at normal it's about -15 to -13. So this microphone does a really good job, as you can see. So now it's off. We're on this microphone. The LEDs go off, similar to the Fifine Ampligame. LEDs go off, mic goes off. LEDs go on, mic goes on. So that's very simple, very easy to differentiate and know when you're on and off. This is just such an easy microphone to use and just looks good. I personally am really happy and pleased with this one. All right, so if you're wondering on how I was able to get this mounted up, since I might have questions about that, I do have it on a thread here. And then we have the top one, which is to a tripod one, which I'm trying to get off. It's super hard to do, so 3 to 8 inch, both of them are male adapters. 1 to 4 inch male adapter here, basically an insert for, and then I had it on a tripod there. That was how I was able to find it. And then obviously you have that standard thread right there, which came with the K658, and most tripods you can find that. Fits for standard like microphones, I guess you could say. So that's what I have to do for switching off every time. Just use this right here, and then I go ahead and apply that, and then there I can be mounted to tripod. Now, it does work for heavy microphones. I already have my main microphone on here. We're gonna test out for the HyperX right now for the first time, like so. There we go. And then it can go right there. We just twist it on. Thankfully, this microphone, the HyperX, is very lightweight, so it should hold up, and we're good to go. QuadCast, Ampligame, 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 QuadCast, Ampligame,